Hello, everyone. On behalf of Women TV India, I welcome all of you on this show, Your Health Matters. I am Alpana Shroff, Title Queen winner, Mrs Elegance India World 2021. In our new episode, we want to discuss women and children in abusive relationships. And our guest for today is Shikha Mehta. Shikha has been a holistic healer and a lifestyle coach, and she has several therapies which we will be discussing today. She has more than 10 years experience, and she is the mastermind behind the healer's room. So without wasting time, I welcome Shikha. Shikha, would you please like to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hi, I'm Shikha Mehta. I'm the founder of the Healers Room. I um, I am extremely passionate about what I do, and what I do it from my heart because I love to help people and I love to make that change. The goal, the idea is to create the transformation and a better world for all of us to live in. So I have been in this for past 10 years, and more than 10 years actually. And of course, like everybody has a trigger. There was a trigger that pushed me into this. I come from a background of advertising and have done my BA with literature, but life has different plans for me. So, Alpana, would you like to ask me something?
Thank you, Shikha. Today we know how pandemic has changed almost everybody's lives, and especially the ones where the intimate relationships are concerned. They were reported with intimate abuse in numbers which were larger than the pandemic itself, thus creating a shadow pandemic. Then all the issues which have been swept under the carpet over the years, they now came up front because partners were faced with each other in the four walls of the house for almost more than 2 years. So before we go towards any therapy of how you can help them, I would like to know that how you will make the awareness for the women, especially we start with that this circle of abuse that will not improve on one fairy tale day until they take steps to help themselves and to realize this.
So,
That
Alpana,
is
while
my
I was
perspective.
sorry, I
Yeah.
interrupted you.
No,
So,
no, no.
Alpana, while I
You
was
go first.
introducing myself,
Yeah.
uh, to answer your question, there are a number of therapies, relaxation therapies, transformational therapies that I practice and teach. uh, there are a few that I teach, a few that I practice. And the way I work is as a lifestyle coach, I integrate everything that I know and I have learned. So the few therapies that I have learned are like access bars. I'm a pranic healer, and I also teach access bars. I practice access bars, the body processes of access, and I love it because it really, really creates a lot of shifts. Uh, I am a counselor. I'm a holistic therapist, a Vedic nutritionist, and I practice batch flower remedies. I do mantra healing, crystal healing. I do dragon healing, angel healing. I'm a teacher with the Dinah Cooper School of White Light. So I also work as a spiritual mentor. So answering your question, since there has been reported a lot of abusive relationships, emotionally abused relationships during the pandemic, it's I think pandemic has only brought it to the surface, but the abuse has always been there. It's just that because we have
Exactly.
been living such a fast paced life, and sometimes women don't have another way out because they are not monetarily independent, or they are emotionally invested in your. Also children play a big role because you don't want to uproot them. So women as well as men go through this almost in a way, almost oblivious to what they feel, so they shove every all the emotions under the carpet, you know. In the bargain, they almost lose connection with themselves. What pandemic did was it actually brought them face to face with each other. And because you're constantly in each other's face, the emotions were triggered and it all started coming up to the surface, which then resulted in what was reported.
Yes, exactly true, Shikha. And so there is a lot of effect of this abuse all through the years for repetitive abuse, pathological health harm to the health done, diabetes, blood pressure, chronic back pain, and nervous system disorder, leading in even loss of memory as per the different stages that the repetitive abuse has been happening. And people don't consider that this is because of abuse, and hence what how will they start this thing from their moment of I don't know to the moment of awareness.
So, Alpana, the first step comes to acknowledgement, right? So, you have to, it's okay to look out for help. It's okay to go to a therapist. It's okay to look after your mental health. You look after your physical health when you get hurt, when you have diabetes, when you have your lifestyle diseases. You go to a doctor, don't you? So it
Yes,
is
of course.
all right to go to a doctor even for your mental health, because all your lifestyle diseases stem from from the disorder in your mental health, from an imbalance in your mental health, which the emotional imbalance is the cause of the imbalance in the mental health as well. So the root is the emotions,
Exactly.
and you need somebody to guide you through and handhold you through this. So, in my coaching programs, I conduct coaching programs in which I integrate all my therapies, and in that, I handhold each of my client from from the stressful state that they are in, day after day, moving towards a more easier zone.
Yes, and the questions which they normally keep asking, is the partner an abusive partner? Is he really this, or am I really in? Instead of that, the questions which they would be asking to themselves should be like, am I in a comfort zone of emotional security, or am I being threatened? Or so what these questions which they should start with inwardly will give them should give them the answer with. So that type of questions they should ask themselves in the beginning only before approaching anyone like you, because the normal question being that, is my partner an abusive partner, am I in this abusive relationship really? So the question is not asking about that, the question is being yourself, looking towards yourself. So can you explain that to us?
Yes, Alpana, it takes a lot of courage to actually ask yourself those questions. And that's why you require that little hand holding. And it always helps when you have somebody with you who is not biased, who you can confide in, because you know that the person does not know anybody in your circle. So is not going to go and talk about it. Besides, it's also the code of conduct, right? It's unethical to talk about your clients. For me, it's extremely unethical to talk about my clients. So I do not talk about my clients even to my family.
Absolutely
All
true.
my files and my case studies are in lock and key, so that nobody
Yes,
gets
yes,
anything
yes,
about it. So
true.
the way I work is, Alpana, when I talk to them, the reason I believe that some you always require, you are in such a vulnerable state, and when you're asking yourself questions like, am I in an abusive relationship, or is my partner abusive, it's very easy that your answer is going to be yes. So what should I do? I should leave. But escape is not the route over here, Alpana, because what
Okay.
happens is that we acknowledge that, okay, this is the problem, and then let's walk out of this. No, you
Yeah.
face the problem, right? And you take your learnings from the problem. The problem is going to come with you everywhere, because it's become a repetitive pattern. There is an emotional trigger in you, which is
Yes,
attracting these kind of vibes in your life. There's something that you need to learn and stand up for yourself, and hence it is
really.
important to have somebody who is going to guide you through the process. It's almost like having a teacher who's going to teach you ABC and then take you till you start reading, and then, leave
Exactly.
you on your
Yeah.
own to be able to fend for yourself.
Yes, that individual hand holding, which will take you from event to event and show you from your position from a distance and be able to recognize your position. So you have to basically look at yourself through this counseling and healing process. You start looking at yourself, which you have neglected all over the years.
Yes, and the healing is a mind, body, and soul healing. And it always has to be from the core level, because otherwise you're only healing the surface and it doesn't help, because the pattern is still there and it will come back. You will have to
Okay.
face it. You will
Okay.
have it's almost like the exam that you're giving
Huh.
and you fail the exam, so you have to
Huh.
retake the exam, and then you again
Okay.
fail the exam and you retake it till you don't master it, till you don't see where you were going wrong. Because you
Exactly.
clap only with two hands, right?
Yes.
So if the partner is abusive, there is something that you are not being over here.
Huh. That is there. That is
That you are not
absolutely
being
true.
over. It's easy to
Exactly.
blame someone else, but you also have
Yes.
to be honest on yourself. You
Yes.
have
Yes.
created this. And everything that we create in our life is due to the thoughts we have. And those
Yes.
thoughts stem from the experiences and the emotions that we hold on to.
Very true. Very true. And this could lead to what some things which have been holded on from childhood itself.
Yes.
And
Ideally,
this is due to the
ideally one
upbringing. Yeah.
yes, and ideally one forms their belief systems from the age of 0 to 7.
Okay.
So most of their belief systems are formed at that time, and then of course it's the as you grow up you see the influences, but most of your belief systems are formed at that time, and those belief systems create these repetitive patterns, these programs in your life, and you start attracting these kind of people or
Exactly.
these kind of
Since we are
situations in
talking,
your life.
yeah, exactly, we are since we're talking how the women are affected, as along with the children are also affected in this type of relationship. So the pattern being formed in the children, we will discuss that a bit later. So as today we are talking about women, so I just happen to remember one story. There was once a lady who had lost her diamond ring, and she was searching for it in a street under the street light. A policeman was passing there and he asked her if he can help her and what was it that she's looking for. She said that I have lost my diamond ring. So the policeman started looking for it. And after a while, when he could not find it, he asked her, Ma'am, have you lost the ring? Are you sure you've lost it in this street? And she said, Oh no, I lost the ring way back at my house, but the light is better over here under the street. So I started looking for it here. Normally, when you connect this to the women who have lived through emotional abuse, this is where they need to be guided from where to find their lives from trauma to lives of freedom, prosperity, and hope. What will they have to first think for coming out of this and looking for their happiness? Where and what to start with?
They would have to start with looking for the light within themselves. So the way I work is, Alpana, in I start them with a batch flower remedy, which helps them cope with these difficult emotions while I am doing the counseling therapy for them and facilitating them. So because while I'm facilitating them, a lot of difficult emotions start showing up. So the batch flower remedy is a support which helps them cope with it and
Wonderful.
easily deal with it. Meanwhile, I
Wonderful.
also really recommend access bars, because this is a wonderful
What is
therapy.
access bars? Yeah, what is access
Access
bars?
bars is a wonderful therapy. What it does is it's almost like rebooting your system. So these are 32
Oh,
points on your head which are lightly touched with my fingers. And when I touch them with my fingers, I start activating them. When I activate them, you start feeling a little vibration or heat over there, which means that your energy is getting activated. So what
wonderful.
this does is it starts bringing positive changes in your in your mental body, in your emotional body, and it almost creates the flow of energy in your body. So the flow of energy is an unobstructed flow of energy that is created by access bars, because all the obstructions which are there, the obstacles which are there, are removed. So it is said the founder of access bars is Mr. Gary Douglas, and he says that one session releases anything from 5,000 to 10,000 years of clutter, considering
Oh,
that your
wonderful.
soul is eternal and it's lived many, many lives.
Oh,
So it releases a lot, and only 5 sessions creates a minor change. But like we go to a spa to get a massage done after a hard workout, why? Because your muscles feel contracted, right? After a hard
yes,
workout. The
yes.
same way, when you're stressing, when you are holding on to the emotions, the difficult
Ah,
emotions, when you're holding on to the experiences, and when you're constantly making yourself feel like a victim, you know,
yeah,
what do you do to your soul? You contract
yeah.
the muscles inside your soul, you contract your soul. So like the massage
Okay.
eases out all the muscles and creates the blood circulation, access bars eases your soul and creates the energy circulation.
It's really wonderful. It's extremely wonderful to hear about this therapy from you.
Thank you.
And so while we are on to the therapies, I have one query left, so most of the women, most of these situations arise in all economic classes of society. It's not only that a certain class is facing abusive relationships, it's even between, you can say doctor couples, and everywhere it can happen. And people are not surfacing only to voice themselves, first of all, due to these common things like fear of social stigma. Some of them have financial difficulties for each and everything, so there will be no space left for looking for themselves, treating themselves because of the financial dependence from their partner, codependence. And there are other factors like so they believe, because they succumb to this idea then, that this has been my destiny and this is how I will live. So actually speaking, if the woman does not take care of herself, will she even exist to look after her family? And that is why I would like you to stress the importance on how they will be able to know where there's accept their situation and look towards their healing. Before they before that, what are the few remedies which by this show itself they could embark upon right after the show, and create a certain sort of a little bit of a confidence inside them, which will tell them something, that there is a path ahead of them which they need to take.
So Alpana, when you're living a difficult life, going through these difficult emotions all the time and living it, you tend to get used to it. It becomes your comfort zone,
Yeah,
you know. And
yeah.
of course, when you're living it for such a long time, you tend to also lose confidence in yourself. So you think of yourself as lesser than everybody,
Yes, that guilt and
which
shame,
doesn't.
they hold the guilt and shame all the time, because
Yes,
it is not theirs. The guilt and shame is not of the victim. It's not of, they don't own the guilt and shame. It is not from their side, but they don't let go of it. Yes,
yes.
absolutely true.
So and they feel broken inside, so they feel that they are not good enough. But
Yeah,
when you are constantly thinking that I'm not good enough, are you going to be able to move ahead in life or do anything? Because you feel that
exactly,
you're not good enough, so you're not going to be able to.
exactly,
So the first thing
exactly.
I would say is, I would encourage everybody to start meditating. Meditating does not mean that you have to sit for 30 minutes or 3 hours, and or go on the Himalaya tops and just sit in this thing. You can take out 3 minutes in the day. When you go
True,
off to sleep in the night, 3 minutes, just quieten yourself. Don't watch the TV. Don't read your book. Just quieten yourself. That's your time with you. Spend that time with you. You are important, you know. Observe your breath. Close your eyes and just observe your breath. Align with yourself. When you wake up in the morning, 3 minutes give yourself and just observe your breath. And then start thinking, what do you want to do in the day? You know.
Wonderful, Shika. So the first step is the 3 minutes of breath. So the
Yes.
first step is 3 minutes of breathing.
Yes.
Yes,
Another thing is, I would encourage everybody to put a reminder on their mobile. I'm sure you can give 3 minutes to yourself at different times in the day to keep observing your breath, especially when it's the stressful times of the day. Whether it is emotional stress, whether it is work pressure, or any kind of pressure or stress, give yourself the 3 minutes, unwind, and then get back, reboot yourself.
that's very nice. That's a very nice idea. And thank you
Also,
for that, Shika. Yeah.
and also people who are going through depression, it is nice to have a cup of milk before you sleep. It calms you
Okay.
down. It calms your nerves down. Warm milk
Okay.
before you sleep.
Warm milk.
It'll calm your nerves down. You
Yes.
can also have it with Brahmi for
Okay.
people who do not get sleep because they're constantly thinking. Your mind is
Ah,
extremely active.
yeah. The mind should get cut off at nights.
So you drink a cup of warm milk. You can add in a capsule of Brahmi in it. You get it from Himalaya. You also
Ah,
get powders of Brahmi. So you have a capsule of Brahmi. Have a cup of warm milk. Observe your
yes.
breath for 3 minutes, and I think you'll be already knocked off.
Absolutely, it's true. That's
Listen,
that's a super beginning. And thank you, Shika, for the tips. And
most
this has been
welcome.
a
And I would
wonderful.
really like to encourage everybody to try and
Yes,
at least get their bars run once a
of
week
course.
or
Of course.
once in 10 days. And they can, if anybody requires to contact me, they can
Yes,
contact
yes.
me. And
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can contact
Yeah.
me. I have an Insta page called The Healer's Room. And
Yes.
they can also contact me on 9653 665175.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Shika, for these wonderful tips today. And we will definitely note down your Instagram handle, the healer's room, and the different ways where people can approach you. I thank all the beautiful viewers who have joined us today, and I'm very happy to be able to create this awareness among, especially among women. And I thank Women TV India for giving us this beautiful opportunity in this direction. Thank you, Shikha, once again.
Thank you so much, Alpana and Women's TV, and I'm very grateful to all our viewers. They've and very grateful to all of you too.